Once upon a time, people watched movies only one time. They got dressed up in their fancy clothes and headed to see their favorite stars on the silver screen. Those days are gone, and people now view the same film over and over and over again. Old school animators had no clue that rewatches would be a thing, so tossing in a single naughty frame was no big deal. No one could see their dirty deeds at 24 frames a second. Fast forward to now, big effing deal. Some Easter eggs are more friendly, little tidbits thrown in here and there to keep the obsessive watching, wondering what they missed. However you like your Easter eggs served, here are 10 of the most paused Disney moments. Before we begin though, consider subscribing to CBR so that you can always be up to date on our latest, greatest videos. Big Hero 6. When Disney bought Marvel, fans rejoiced, but they were surprised when their first animated film was a very loose adaptation of a little-known group called Big Hero 6. The 2014 cartoon told the tale of Hero, a boy who lost his family but gained a robust robotic friend named Baymax. It seems the team behind BH6 had a thing for the second scummiest Hans ever. We're looking at you for number 1, Gruber. They may be diehard fans, but we're talking about the smooth-talking baddie from Frozen. At least twice in the film, a super subtle reference to Hans happens. Tacked to a corkboard in the police station is a wanted poster with a picture of his smiling mug. Plus, during a training sequence with Hero and his billowy friend, a statue of Hans finds itself on the wrong end of Baymax's blast. Frozen. Hans may be a duplicitous douchebag in Frozen, but at least he didn't eat his boogers. All that we know of. While Anna gushes over Hans, Kristoff reminds her that he is still in fact a man. And, well, sometimes men do gross things. Let their toenails grow too long, eat food off the floor well after 5 seconds, and of course, eat their own boogers. It seems like a silly joke, but Disney wanted to make sure that everyone knew Kristoff's thoughts were his own. If you freeze frame the credits, a disclaimer was put in stating the views and opinions expressed by the Aw Shucks Eye Candy are solely his own and not the opinion of Disney or the filmmakers. Even if it's gross, you should at least stand by your cartoon, man. Peter Pan. He may be the boy who never grew up, but in the 1953 adaptation of the J.M. Barrie book, that boy has man parts. Giving Peter a Peter probably made the fellas lol, or maybe even a ruffle, while creating the shadow dancing sequence. The thought of adding a twig and berries to Peter when he's apparently dirty dancing with his own shadow in the children's bedroom. Even though he's clearly wearing his trademark light green shirt and dark green pants, fashion fail, apparently clothing doesn't transfer to shadows as a freeze of one exact frame shows off Peter's pee-pee and his lost boys. Given that Peter Pan is usually only seen by kids, and he takes them away to a place called Neverland, well, suddenly this tale of staying young forever got a lot more creepy. The Rescuers. Disney animators sneaking in animated adult images into cartoon is a tale as old as time, but in 1977's The Rescuers, an actual photo of a naked woman was discreetly placed. The animators behind the tale of mice who rescue abduction victims, like Taken with less Liam Neeson but more believable, had no clue the ability to view movies at home and look at still frames would one day occur. Their lack of foresight resulted in a mistake that took 20 years to correct. When the rodent rescuers are flying through the air in New York City in their sardine can, freaking 70s, man, a photograph of a woman standing topless is visible. The mice don't seem to notice the lady, and neither did viewers. For a while. In 1999, Disney pulled all copies of the film and reissued a booby-free version. Toy Story 3. One of the scariest parts of the original Toy Story was Sid. Watching him tear apart toys, creating creepy hybrids, surely gave youngsters nightmares. Even parents know a brat like that, maybe even their own, and most assumed that he would move from taping firecrackers to plastic army men to killing kittens. However, after being scared straight, it appears Sid Phillips grows up to be a garbage man. During the third movie, Woody attempts to rescue his pals, who he thinks were tossed in the trash, picking up those trash bags as a young man wearing a faded black shirt with a skull on it. During his first encounter with talking toys, Sid wore a new black t-shirt with a skull on it. It's never been confirmed, but Pixar doesn't do accidental. Finding Nemo. Showing the sweeter side of saltwater life, Finding Nemo from Pixar is one of their biggest hits and one of the most purchased DVDs ever. Like all Pixar movies, it's chock full of references to other films, but they move by swimmingly fast, so you need to pay close attention. When Nemo finds himself trapped in a dentist's office, there's a toy chest, with Buzz Lightyear of Toy Story lying around. In addition, in that same office, there's a quick shot of a boy and his mother reading as they wait for their appointment. The boy is reading a comic book, about Mr. Incredible. The infamous Pixar Pizza Planet truck is also in that scene. As Gil plans his escape, it can be found in his blurry vision of the street. Cars. Possibly the best acting job ever from Owen Wilson, because you never actually have to see him. Cars was Pixar's final film before joining the Disney family. The redemption story of Lightning McQueen pokes fun at several aspects of auto racing, including the seedier side. In the beginning of the film, a pair of ladies flash their high beams to get McQueen's attention, a not-so-subtle reference to women who pull up their tops to reveal their tatas at concerts and sporting events. Another reference to racing groupies happens as Mac is taking Lightning across the country. One of the truck stops along the way is called the Top Down Truck Stop, advertising all convertible waitresses. Yep, you didn't catch it at the time, but now you know that the trucks, not just the drivers, like a little sneak peek under the hood when getting a fill-up. Hercules. Disney's animated version of the Greek demigod is considered a bit of a disappointment for the company, despite a great performance from James Woods as Hades. The film is their 35th animated movie, yet after 34 attempts, people are still putting in subtle imagery. One not-so-subtle but quick moment occurs when Herc is posing for a painting. His buddy Phil stands in front of a throw rug that looks exactly like a dead and stuffed Scar from The Lion King. Another innuendo that happens fast, but once you see it you never forget, is the phallic-shaped boo-boo. After he punches the River Guardian into the water, Hercules throws a horseshoe at him, and the bump that grows from it, combined with his testicle-shaped forehead, make it look like he has a twig and berries on top of his noggin. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Basic Instinct contains one of the most paused moments in film history. The leg cross seen around the world as Sharon Stone makes that chubby dude from Seinfeld sweat at the sight of her lady parts. Possibly the most paused moment in animation happens when Jessica Rabbit falls out of her taxi in the 1988 film Who Framed Roger Rabbit. The reason why her JJ seems to be clearly shown for 1/24th of a second has been debated for decades. No one agrees if it was done purposely, but there was no doubt that Mrs. Rabbit is not a fan of undergarments or shaving. At the time of release, very few noticed, and the quality of home video was not good, so it took a few years before everyone realized the live-action/animated film contained one of the raciest frames found in film. The Incredibles. 2004's The Incredibles is regarded by many as one of the best superhero films ever. A sweet take on growing old and growing up with amazing powers, it's best known by Easter egg hunters as the only Pixar film to not have the Pizza Planet truck. It does, however, have moments you may have missed. During the wedding flashback of Bob and Helen, all the characters with costumes that failed, according to fashion designer of the Supers Edna, are in attendance. Also, if you look at Mr. Incredible's GPS, you'll notice actual names of real roads in Emeryville, California, the location of Pixar's office. Finally, in one scene, Mr. Incredible finds himself catching cars in a parking lot full of cars. One of which is Doc Hudson from the movie Cars, apparently taking a little time away from Radiator Springs. Did you blink and miss them? Or did you catch all the tiny tidbits we just talked about? Did we forget one you know of? Let us know in the comments below. Better yet, share this video, subscribe to our channel, and let the world know that you now know the house that the mouse built is built upon a house of lies and dirty pictures.